The Global Jamaica Diaspora Coalition kicks off its second Biennial Diaspora Conference online Sunday, June 14th to Thursday, June 18th from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 6 to 9 p.m. Jamaica time. Join this impressive lineup of speakers as they discuss and provide solutions to crime, agriculture, health, economics, tourism, and beach rights access. All are invited and it's totally free. No airline tickets, no hotels, no peddling. Just one diaspora, one voice. That's the second Biennial Diaspora Conference, June 14th to 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 6 p.m. Jamaica time. Join us on YouTube channel Reason with Rattigan. One diaspora, one voice, one Jamaica. Sponsored by our people, for the people.
People need to see the light, turn it up right. We will fight for the people every day, risk him life for the people every day, get criticized for the people every day, defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day, risk him life for the people every day, get criticized for the people every day, defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him step up all eyes on him, and defend the people them set spice on him. Evil politicians spread lies on him, but we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, them not ties on him. Them know say that the people rely on him. You know said them bring out them Christ through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus. strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm we. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. How long them a gonna know say that them fire can't cool? How long them a gonna take our people for fool? Nah build no houses, them nah build no school. Think them up the handle but the most I rule. Them better stop criticizing. Cause what them a do now phase him. You know the man no lazy. All them a talk, them are the one right crazy. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him step up all eyes on him. I defend the people, them set spice on him. Even politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, them not no ties on him. Them know said that the people rely upon him. You know said them bring out them cries through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey, the man hold the harder of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm you. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Most High Jah, guide us now, yeah. Our people need to see the light. Turn it up right. He will fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him step up all eyes on him. I defend the people, them set spice on him. Even politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, them not no ties on him. Them know said that the people rely upon him. You know said them bring out them cries through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey, Ratty hold the order of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm you. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. How long them a gonna know say that them fire can't cool? How long them a gonna take our people for fool? Nah build no houses, them nah build no school. Think them up the handle but the most I rule. Them better stop criticizing. Cause what them a do now phase him. You know the man no lazy. All them a talk, them are the one right crazy. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him step up all eyes on him. I defend the people, them set spice on him. Even politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, then I no ties on him. Them know say that the people rely upon him. You know said them bring out them Christ through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey, the man who hold the harder of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm me. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Most High Jah, guide us now, yeah. Our people need to see the light. Turn it up right. He will fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Will fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him slip up all eyes on him. I defend the people, them set spice on him. Evil politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, then I no ties on him. Them know say that the people rely upon him. You know said them bring out them Christ through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey, Ratty hold the order of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm me. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. How long them a gonna know say that them fire can't cool? How long them a gonna take our people for fool? Nah build no houses, them nah build no school. Think them have the handle but of the most high rule. Them better stop criticizing. Cause what them a do now phase him. You know the man no lazy. All them a talk, them are the one right crazy. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him slip up all eyes on him. I defend the people, them set spice on him. Evil politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, then I no ties on him. Them know said that the people rely upon him. You know said them bring out them Christ through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey, the man who hold the harder of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm me. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Them fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Most High Jah, guide us now, yeah. Our people need to see the light. Turn it up right. He will fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk them life for the people every day. Get criticized fights for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him step up all eyes on him. I defend the people, them set spice on him. Evil politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, them not ties on him. Them know say that the people rely on him. You know said them bring out them Christ through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey. Rock you all the order of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm you. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. I don't know what is going on with the provost and his sound. Babylon, lock off your dance, provost. Yes, I am not hearing you at all. Make sure your channel is not muted. People, you're still a work in progress, you know. Let me see what magic I can work from my side here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the... There's a thing that says, welcome to the live event. This is very much a live event. It's not the one that you have to spend, I don't know how much money it is that you need to spend to join them. But let me try to just quickly troubleshoot what is going on with the provost here. I feel it's user error. I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. Are you seeing a signal on your mixer, Will? I know you're hearing me, right? Yes, you're hearing me. Good. Are you seeing a signal on your mixer for your mic? Because I'm not seeing a signal for you. Good evening, friends from Lake. All right, just a moment, people. Let's go ahead and play the theme song once more, please, producer. Let me do some work over here. Thank you.
See there? Yeah. Mic check. So it wasn't user
No,
error.
in part, it was user error,
No. No,
but
no,
it's
no,
okay.
no, no.
We have more than one users here. So one user can error it and the other one can fix it.
No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome to the second Biennial Diaspora Conference online. And you notice we stressed online because there's one that's going on in Jamaica as we speak. And this is the people's version of what a diaspora conference should be. Because for the next few nights, you are going to hear a discussion about the issues affecting Jamaicans at home and abroad. And you're going to hear about solutions. This is not a financial exposition. If you want to learn about financial exposition, if you want to learn about finances and financing, then there's an exposition going on in Jamaica right now that's billed as the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Conference, or they call it the Biennial Diaspora Conference. But that conference is all about financing, money matters, linkages, all kinds of connections. That conference is not for us, the people. It's for a few individuals with the grand plan of scheming our people into believing that it's about them. It's not about them. And we are going to show you that. And we don't want it to be completely negative, so we're going to talk to you about what we're doing. So for the first night, what we need to do is to explain to people what is the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. I suspect that many of you did not know about that entity until we started talking about it. And for those of you who knew about it, you also know that it hasn't produced for people in the diaspora. If you're truly honest with yourselves, you will admit that readily. But if you're not true to yourselves, we will bring the truth to the population, including you. And so that you can understand once and for all that this organization, although it was created, designed, and with the intent to implement benefits for us, it's not about us. it was never about us. It was all smoke and mirrors. It was fanfare. It was manipulating the minds of the people. And that's where we are. We're going to undo that over the next few nights, or at least we're going to attempt to do it. Some of you will listen, learn, and believe, and others, well, can't win everybody. But Rome wasn't built in a day, as my mother would say. And we don't expect that the disbelievers will suddenly believe as a result of this. But the one thing they cannot hide from is the truth and the fact that it has been spoken. Remember, the truth must not only be the truth, but it must be spoken. What good is the truth if it hasn't been conveyed? It does me no good for me to have all of this information and not share it with you, so that if you're in a state of confusion, or if you're in a state of ignorance, you can come from the darkness into the light. And that's why we're here. So without further ado, let me bring on the man who we can't do without. Actually, we can't do without me, but we can't do without this man here, because without this man here, nothing can go on. And you see what him just done do a while ago. Now couldn't hear me, and all of a sudden, now you can. Ladies and gentlemen, the professor, the DJ, Kevin Stew.
Good afternoon, greetings and salutations. Please pardon me, I just now got a message from my sister. We were talking earlier, and her sister-in-law, who some of you would have heard me tell stories about my growing up, my childhood, and going to a sleepaway camp for the first time. My sister's sister-in-law, as her husband's sister, was one of the people that comforted me when I was homesick as a 9-year-old sleeping out at a sleepaway camp for the first time. We just got news that she passed away. Her neighbor found her in the backyard of her home. And it's kind of shocking. It's not kind of shocking. It's very shocking to me, because I just got off the phone with my sister before coming on this broadcast, and we were talking about family members and who her children look like. So please, pardon my unusual demeanor.
Condolences, my brother.
Thank you. Much respect. So if you all see me disappear for a moment, it's family related. But in the meantime, until I can do nothing from here but be here right now. And so I'll wait until I am needed, and then I will go and address that. But welcome to the second Biennial Diaspora Conference. We are on a journey that never ends. We're on a journey to opening the eyes of our Jamaicans at home and abroad. There's no blueprint for this. There's no manual that has been issued out and say, follow these guidelines, because something like this has never happened. There has never been an organization that has stepped forward to say, hey, this is what is going on, and here's the evidence of it going on. And everyone has access to this information. This is how you get it. And so as we embark on this journey, please do so with open minds. Do not get caught up with the political affiliation and I was born in this area, so I am this and I am this for life. this for life, if it is not doing anything for your life, why are you holding on to it? And so thank you all for the condolences. Appreciate of it. And so as we go through this period of this conference, and we have our guests on and we go through the material, some of it you've seen before, some of it's a new perspective that we're looking at it from. Just know that as we go through, we're growing through it as we're going through it. So get your notepads, take your notes, document your timelines on this broadcast that you can go back and refer to something that stands out for you. Will, Provost.
Yeah, I just want you to put up, I'm looking for it here. I just want you to put up this this document here. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. All right. I want you to put up these two for me, please. There they are. All right. So, folks, just to give you, we're going to be joined shortly by Mr. Patrick Beckford, and he's well known in the diaspora community. He was one of the members of the Advisory Council, which is the predecessor to the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. And he has a history to relate to us concerning the growth, well, the formation and the growth of this diaspora, as they call it, a movement. And it's interesting. It's an interesting history. And I think we all need to listen and learn from this, because it will give you a sense of where we are and where we should be going. It will give you a sense of what should have happened and what didn't happen. It will give you a sense of what the future should look like, because we already know what the past and the present. We know what they look like. We heard about the past, we're living the present. So let's get the history clear so that there's no misunderstanding as we move forward with the challenge of making this Global Jamaica Diaspora Council the organization that it should be. And when I said organization, we're not talking about an unincorporated association. We're talking about a registered organization. That's what it should be. So he will join us shortly. Now, my history with the diaspora, I mean, I shouldn't say history, but I should say involvement. It's just a few years ago. I'm a baby to this. But my mother didn't raise a fool. I'm a quick study, particularly when it comes on to our people. Oh, by the way, let me just stop right here and say, yesterday, we gave a status report on all of the legal cases that we have pending. None of them have been resolved. We gave a status report on the Kamina Johnson-Smith case. We gave a status report on the Paul Buchanan versus the Constituted Authority case. That's the case where they're challenging the election of the Prime Minister in his constituency. And we gave a status report on the Rattigan versus Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Electoral Committee and the Gleaner. We gave a report on those three cases. We made it abundantly clear that The first case, I started that first case with my finances, and we reached out to people, and people gave willingly. And that case is before the it's before the Court of Appeal in Jamaica. The Paul Buchanan case, unfortunately, the lawyer who's representing Paul Buchanan, Mr. Hugh Wildman, he was scheduled to come on yesterday in the evening, but I told you that he had an event and there's a possibility that he would make it. Well, he didn't make it, but we had a conversation yesterday and he told me that a hearing is set for the Paul Buchanan case this week. We shall see. The third case, we just filed the last set of paperwork we filed on Friday night. We had a midnight deadline, and we were able to file the documents within a few hours of the deadline. Now, some of you have made contributions to the first two lawsuits. The last lawsuit, the one against the Gleaner and the Electoral Committee, I just mentioned that last week, and maybe some of you have, I haven't checked the financial records yet, but maybe some of you have made a contribution to that, but that's a very late lawsuit. The first two, let me be abundantly clear, because apparently, I don't know if people who made contributions are watching the program or they're creating mischief. I don't know. So I'm not going to make a judgment on that. The only thing I'm going to say is this. If you've made a contribution to any of the lawsuits and you're dissatisfied with the progress of the lawsuits and you want a return of your funds, please let us know. We would be more than happy to return your money, because we don't want people to start saying, well, they gave money and they don't know what's going on all of that. We just decided before we came online that there's one person that we will return that person's money to that. We're going to return the money to that individual, because we can't keep coming on every week and giving us that. The wheels of justice turn rather slowly in Jamaica. Well, particularly in Jamaica. And we don't want to be placed in a position where we feel beholden to come on every week to tell you where we are with the lawsuits. That's not going to work. So if you don't want that, if you want a weekly report of where your money went, then what I say to you is, please tell us that you want the return of your funds, because we're not going to provide a weekly status report, because the courts don't work like that. I give you a status report whenever I have a report to provide you with. I cannot keep doing this. We did it yesterday. And those of you who tuned in yesterday, you heard me talk about it. So what I've instructed the producers to do is, and members of the OJLDF, is to return funds to people. If they start asking questions, just give them back their money. We don't want to have any issues. So those of you asking for a status report, your money will be returned. So please, you may get an email from the OJLDF asking you for your details. Yeah, so that we can return the funds to you. And no hard feelings. But we don't have time for that. And you know what happened, Kevin? You know what happened? Some of these folks, when they give to some of these organizations, they never ask for a status report. Never. They will not ask for a status report.
Well, the thing is, Will, and I've been noticing it, because we are accessible. And one, and two, because this is a new organization. people are of the opinion that you, me, any other producers, anybody associated or affiliated with the organization is doing what we're addressing. We might be siphoning off some of the funds, putting money in our pockets or whatever else, because trust runs shallow. And that's okay. And just like Will said, you want your money back, we'll give you your money back. You'll get your money back. Because there's nothing that is donated. I stress it all the time. I'm not even on the board of the foundation. And I can tell you this. If you have made a donation, you're not happy, and you have, and we specify, we emphasize, please specify where you want your funds to be, what your funds to be used for. If you don't specify, we can decide what it is that we'll use it for. If you're dissatisfied, Will said it, I'm going to say it again. Where have you made a donation to before, and you have been dissatisfied, and you have contacted them for a refund of your donation? You have made a donation. If you don't have it to donate, do not donate. And this doesn't only apply to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, this applies to anything. A donation is an act of giving where you expect nothing in return. The foundation has taken it a step further to not only state what it is that your funds are going to be used for, but to show you why it is that the request is made for the funds to be used. If you want to go take it on yourself, please, by all means, go and amass those court costs and attorney fees yourself. And it's just like voting. If you don't vote, don't talk. If you're going to donate, cool. Thank you very much for your support. Wait for the results. If you have done anything legally in Jamaica at all, you know it takes forever. Forever and a day, because it takes forever in the US. So forever and maybe a day or three in Jamaica. Come on, people. So you want your money back, people? Say it. It will happen. Because if there's one thing is for sure and two things for certain, OJLDF has nothing to hide.
You know, Professor, you remember the incident over a year ago or so when people started saying they wanted their money back. People and I had to fight the board, and I said, because the board was right. The board said, listen, legally, once you've given to a foundation, you have no right to that, to a return of your funds. But I said to them, no, I understand the law, but we're going to give them back their money. They gave and they want back the money. And I said, even if I have to go into my pocket and take it out, I am going to pay these people back. We're not going to have people say, well, me give them my money and them thief for money and blah, 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 blah. No, we're going to give them the money back. And it's the same thing here. Now, people coming up and they're asking, they're making it seem as if we took the money and they don't know about the funding. We went ahead and we said, listen, here is a status report. And people still come back and asking, me give my money. And so here's where we've drawn the line now. We said, no, you know what? You want your money back? We are going to give you your money back. We still consider that even though you've given it to a 501c3, we're registered, and that's more than the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council can say for money that they've raised. Show them, have them show you a tax return. Have them show you a tax filing. We can show you. Go to our website. You'll see the filings there. You'll see how much money we collected and how much money we spend, and you know what we're doing with the funds. But if somebody says they want their money back, I feel guilty to keep somebody's money, even though the money is legally not yours. Once you pass that money to a 501c3, you have no legal right to it. But here's what I subscribe to. I subscribe to that. If somebody gives something, let them be an Indian. Well, I shouldn't even say Indian giver, but But you know what I mean. If somebody want give you something for a worthy cause, and them say, "We want it back," or them start bother you and start asking a whole heap of questions, give them back. Because here's what you've done once you give them back. Once you've given them back, it's over. They have no argument at all. Because even if them go and spread rumors, somebody going to say, "Hold on, you get back your money?" And them say, "Yeah, them give me back my money." Argument done. Anyway, people, listen. We just felt like we had to say that. And again, the person who inquired about the status of the report and come back again with it, please make yourself available for return of your funds. We're going to give you back your money. And that way we know that you won't be able to call us and ask us about a status report or anything like that. We'll finish with you. All right. Here's what's going on now with the Diaspora Conference. 2 years ago when they had it, they put out a lot of, they started advertising from April. They started putting out their posters and all of that. And we said, fine, we're going to put on our conference as well. And we did. And it caused problems for them because, see, the name Global Jamaica Diaspora Council is not registered. The logo that they're using is not registered. And if you recall, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, if you recall, we registered the name in 2 places and they could not do anything about it. They were upset, but they couldn't do anything because legally they're not an organization. They call themselves a movement. And I find it rather strange, Professor, that a movement is going to have an election. An organization can have an election, but a movement is just where you galvanize people towards a common goal. But you don't vote in a movement because the leaders in a movement, they emerge. People just know that this is our guy, this is our girl, and they are our leaders. You don't have a vote, especially an international vote, because they had voting in the UK, Canada, the US. No. So this year, what did they do? And then we're hearing it from good sources because we have sources within their midst. 2 years ago, they started advertising, as I said, way back in April, they're putting out promos. This year, they decided not to because they said, hey, you know, what is this? Oh, and why are you collecting people's money? You're not supposed to be taking people's to pay politicians, lawyer fee. That is wrong. All right. Owen come for this track to it. But I could just quickly give him 2 seconds on the stage. Yeah. Owen, let me tell you something. You're missing the point. We're supporting a principle, and the principle is free and fair election. That's the principle. And the evidence I saw suggested to me that the election was not free, was not fair. And that is the principle. It's just like the Kamina Johnson-Smith lawsuit. The purpose of that is to have politicians comply with the rules. So if the idea is that if the principle is associated with a politician and we shouldn't approach it, then I think you're wrong. That's the few seconds I have for you. All right. So they're starting out with the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. And what I've always maintained that based on what they've put out, that it is a financial conference. It is not about doing things for the people of Jamaica. So let me show you now what they put out this year. They recently put it out. They're further away, you know. They didn't put it out until recently. They had to put something out, but they said, no, let's wait until the last moment and then we'll put it out. Now, here it is. But you know, before we do that, Kevin, I need to, let me just remove this. Let me show you something, folks. Let me show you something. I would be remiss if I didn't do this. Diaspora, where's the policy? Where's the policy? Help me find the policy out, Kevin.
We'll lose the policy again.
I'm in diaspora. I don't see it. And while Kevin is looking for that, let me just say that once we have found it, I'm going to play you a video of the Prime Minister making a statement. We did this yesterday, and I'm going to show you something. And essentially, what he's saying is that if you live in the diaspora and you're not making a contribution, not making a choice for Jamaica, you're not Jamaican. And it's not a video, it's a document. Look for it over here.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it here real quick.
Yeah, just look for diaspora policy.
Yeah, it would be in the files. If it should have been in that diaspora tab.
Yeah,
along with the two terms of references.
Right.
As we're pulling up this information, viewers, please do not get caught up with a political affiliation. Again, I don't know how often we can say this or emphasize or stress on this. Do not get caught up with a particular political affiliation. Do get caught up on principle. Do get caught up on practice. Don't get caught up on affiliation. As a matter of principle, we need to address what is done by whomever does it. Whether green or orange, doesn't matter.
All right. Here's the policy, right? So we need to, we've done this before, but again, before we can move into the substance, we need to let people know what exactly is the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council? Why is it that there is a biennial conference? Who's sponsoring it? And what are the roles and responsibilities of this Global Jamaica Diaspora Council? How did it come about? Well, before 2000, late 1999, 2000, there's something called the Advisory Council. And this council actually started way back when I'm trying to think, like maybe about 2010, somewhere around there. And it was essentially to advise the government on certain things. And in fact, it was also designed to help people who want to make a contribution to Jamaica, meaning you want to go back home and be a part of national development. And that was the purpose of it. Now, they changed it in around late 1999, 2000, and they changed the name from Advisory Council to Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. And that council it takes its life from this document you're looking on the screen. This document, this would be like the Constitution. This is a document that provided, or it still provides, guidance and counseling for the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. Now, the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council has something called a document called Terms of Reference. That's their document. This document, this National Diaspora Policy, is a Jamaican government document. They would have us believe that the terms of reference that is used by the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council is the council's document. But in truth and in fact, it reflects the government's position. Whether or not our own diaspora members sold us out, or they were tricked, or whatever it is, there's not much in there for us. There's not much in there for us. So here is the National Diaspora Policy. Remember now, it starts from this, right? This is like the document that's shepherding, you know, the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council through its responsibilities. This is the governing document. They have their own, but this is the document where it starts. Now, I'm going to show you something. We did this already, but we have to do it again. See that? The very first sentence after first line, you see where it says diaspora, read from the. It says the policy, meaning this document, embodies the commitment of the Jamaican government of Jamaica to the nation's development and the diaspora's well-being. So they're looking out for our well-being. If you live abroad, they're looking out for your well-being as well. Next sentence. In particular, it addresses issues and concerns of the diaspora while assisting them to live in harmony and to prosper in the countries where they and their descendants reside. You've heard me say that time and time again. It's worth reading a second time. In particular, this policy addresses issues and concerns of the diaspora while assisting them meaning the diaspora members, to live in harmony. They're going to assist us to live in harmony and to prosper, to make good, to succeed in the countries where we live, where our descendants live. And you see the second thing? It's our contribution to Jamaica's sustainable development. So let me break it down for you. What they're saying is that, look, the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Jamaican government are going to help you diaspora members to succeed, to thrive where you live, in the hope that you will take that prosperity, you will leverage that prosperity to help with the national development of Jamaica. So you can't have one without the other. But the first thing is that you have to make people prosper, because if people are not prosperous, then they can't help. So they're saying, we are going to help you prosper. This is key. This is key to any conference that the diaspora is having. What is key? It's key to remember that the government is going to help you prosper. That's number one. And number two, they're hoping that your prosperity will be provided to help with Jamaica's national development. Who said this? Here it is. Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith. And there she is right there. Forward. But sometimes people say a forward is not really the document. It's just like somebody's opinion of what the document is. But we need to look at the document itself, even though a forward is part of the document, but it's not the document itself. Fair point. Let's look in the document. Here it is right here. There it is. Right there. I'll big it up. There it is. The purpose of this policy is to establish a framework for the coordinated engagement of Jamaica's diaspora in keeping with the government's commitment to diaspora building, nation building. But look at the second one, the second bullet point. promote their interests and well-being in the countries where they reside. Let me remove this. So we have that clear. The policy says they are going to help us become successful so that we can then take some of that success and help with the development of Jamaica. Now, here is okay, there we go. No, the terms of reference, Kevin, I say one, I don't say the other one. And I don't want them accuse me of saying that I used the wrong one. It was here. All right, hold on a second.
They're both in. If you look in the file manager
Hold on there.
under Rattigan, and you put in the search terms of reference, you'll see them both.
I'm just looking for the section where they talk about one second. These people, they don't have the interest at heart. I can tell you that. All right, here we go. Now remember, the policy, that government document, it says, you diaspora members, we're going to help you to succeed. And when you succeed, we want you to help us back in Jamaica. All right, that's the policy. Now, the terms of reference, that is the document that the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council is using for day-to-day activities. It tells you, it's a guide and it tells you how to operate. Look at this. You see the title? You see the title? See the title? Promoting the well-being of Jamaicans in the diaspora. And see what it says? It says, the draft, it's no longer a draft. The National Diaspora Policy articulates the government's firm commitment to address issues that affect the well-being of the diaspora while assisting them to prosper in the countries where they and their descendants reside. Same language, same meaning, same parties. Now, let me put up the document that we just put up a while ago. But yeah, Kevin, the one with the name, the one with
At the very bottom of the list.
Is it this? No, that's not it. Okay, there we go. This is what they put out recently. They didn't want to put it out so that we could get a look at it and explain to you what's going on. They didn't want to do that. People, so far, I hope you're with me. I hope you're with me. The policy says we're going to help the people overseas so that they can help Jamaica. The terms of reference that belongs to the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, it says the same thing. It says the same thing. All right. Now let's see if what they're promoting, if that is going to help us in the diaspora. Before I go any further, let me just mention this to you, that in the diaspora, what do we have? And people in Jamaica, some people in Jamaica don't know this. Because some people in Jamaica think that, and I used to hear the term, but it's true. It's true. Some, not all. Some, I don't know the percentage, but some people in Jamaica think that we over here, whether you're in the UK, Canada, or the US, will walk and pick up money off a street. Some people. I suspect that the majority know and believe that we have to work hard to get a pound or a dollar. They know that. Some of us working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They know that. But the diaspora, the policy says that what? First, you're going to help the people overseas. And then the people overseas will then help Jamaicans and Jamaica. We know that money no fall from the depend tree in America, the UK, and Canada. We know that there are people sleeping in their vehicles, Jamaicans, homeless. Kevin know the place where some of them there. I mean, Kevin is not there. I hope nobody not get that wrong. I said Kevin out there with them too. But Kevin
I'm
knows
only a paycheck away from getting there, though.
yeah, Kevin knows the location where those people are, right? I know the location where they are. There are people in shelters, Jamaicans in shelters. Some of them with babies in shelters. There are Jamaicans with immigration issues. There are Jamaicans with landlord-tenant issues. There are Jamaicans with involved in the criminal justice system. There are Jamaicans with health issues, and they can't navigate the social services system or the hospital system, the medical system. They don't know how. There it is. Eileen Francis, I know a few homeless Jamaicans. And a diaspora organization should provide for these people. And it doesn't always mean money. It could mean guidance. It could mean advice, direction. You just tell people what to do. Sometimes that's what it means. The question is, who's responsible for helping those people? Not taking care of them, but just helping them. Give out just an outstretched hand. Who's responsible for doing that? You know whose responsibility that should be? The Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. Those of you who watch the program, Reason with Rattigan on a regular basis, will remember that we brought on a member of a Nigerian diaspora group. And what did he say? He said, yes, first it was a social thing, and then it branched out and it got, it enlarged. And now what they do is they're registered as a 501c3. And remember, he said they have a golf tournament, they have a gala every year, and they raise funds to do what? To help people in the diaspora and to help people back in Nigeria. And you remember what he also said? There is no government presence in that organization. He said, we work with the government. We invite them to our functions. We will dialogue with them, but they don't influence what we do. Not so with this organization, the one you're looking at on the screen. Not so. Let's get to what they're saying. Look at this. Diaspora partnerships. Rebuilding a more resilient Jamaica. Rebuilding. They've been rebuilding now for quite some time. And they've been stockpiling funds. And it wasn't too long ago that we heard from an official source that they've spent less than 3% of donations, not loans, we're talking about donations, on the people who need assistance the most. The people from Western Jamaica, people from St. Elizabeth, people from Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. The parishes hit the hardest by Hurricane Melissa. And yet they're still, and they just collected a check in Miami for $400,000, not to mention all the other resources they've received, including hard, cold cash from diaspora members. And now they're saying, we want you to come to Jamaica and we want you to bring some more money. And to people think it through. Think it through. Now, here is a conference. Here's a conference. Today, the 14th, they're having a Thanksgiving worship service. Okay. Nice opening. Day one, which is tomorrow. Today, they have the pre-conference. Then tomorrow, they're having conference commencement. Look at that. Let me just highlight. Look at that. Trade and investment. That's what this is all about. It's about invest. It's about money, people. It's not about helping you. It's about helping the rich get richer. That's what this is about. Hear them say education. Education should be a topic by itself for one day. I know Sister Maria is watching this program, and she brought to my attention that I forgot the number. I think it was 30,000 students who took an exam and something like 6,000 passed. Our education system is in dire straits. It's in shambles. Part of that, corruption. Money that should be spent in earnest on the children went into people's pockets. And they can't tell me I'm lying, because you know what? I got this straight from the Auditor General. And in fact, that's why we have the former minister who's now on trial, Royal Reid. He's accused of stealing from the children of Jamaica. See that? Returning residents, education, see this? You see all of the people them running down there from the diaspora, they have a thing where they said sold out. They said that the conference is sold out. And I agree with them. I agree with them without even looking at the numbers, because that building has a large capacity. And if they're saying that every seat has been sold, or every seat will be actually sold, because you have to pay. You, the diaspora member, you must pay to go to your conference. You must pay to go to your conference. But assuming that the people paid and every seat is occupied, when they said sold out, you know what that means to me? It doesn't mean that the building is at capacity. It means that the people who are there sold out. Them sell out. Them sell out the whole away by going to this conference. You know why? Because they're putting self over community. They say, we want to go and rub shoulders with the officials. We want to go and get a GG award. The most useless public servant in Jamaica, the Governor General. We're paying almost, $750 million Jamaican dollars for a man who does not serve us. He serves who? King Charles. And you, all of you Jamaicans, you pay his salary, you pay for his housing, you pay for his clothing, you pay for everything that he brings into the country is tax-free. And guess what? Two things you must guess. Guess what? One is, you can't ask him under an ATI for any information coming out of his office. He does not risk, he's exempt. He's exempt from providing you with information about his activities. The other government entities, they have to provide you, with a few exceptions. And what's worse is this, ladies and gentlemen. He's exempt from paying income tax. The Prime Minister pays income tax. Speaker of the House pays income tax, or should. The President of the Senate pays income tax. If you're working in Jamaica, you're going to pay income tax. But this man, who's making, I think it's 30-something million, pays no income tax. But he's giving out awards. And people are lining up to go get their awards. Yes, the conference is sold out. A bunch of sellouts. A bunch of sellouts. Look at day 2, ceremonial opening with keynote address by the Prime Minister. A man who should be sitting in prison based on what he told the Integrity Commission about his finances and his knowing, willing, and intelligent efforts to thwart the Integrity Commission Act, meaning he knowingly provided false information. The evidence is there. I'm just regurgitating what he said and what the Integrity Commission said. Based on the report that was filed in court in March of last year, his statutory declarations from, I think it's like 2016 till now, has false information, cannot be certified. They certified some of them, and when they went back and they looked, they said, no, we shouldn't have certified these things. But he's giving the ceremonial opening. And I know some of you watching, you really love the Prime Minister, and I don't see anything wrong with that. You can love him, but you don't have to love what he's done to the people of Jamaica, and you shouldn't. And as we say in Jamaica, talk truth. Talk truth. You know he has not done what's in the best interest of Jamaica. You know it. You see it. But you refuse to accept it. You refuse to accept it. Look at day 3. Creative economy, AI and future and digital future, global engagement. See all of these things that you're talking, gobbledygook, nonsense, but they're going to get down in details. Day 4, day of service. All right, let's get down now to the details now. Here we are. Tomorrow, they're going to have registration. Then they have marketplace, government at your service. Look at this. Direct access to government agencies, partners and public and private sector exhibitors. And then ask yourself the question, why? Why are you having direct access to government agencies? If you live overseas, why do you have to go to Jamaica to have direct access to government agencies? Because you know, I asked the question, you do have direct access to government agencies through the high commissions, the embassies, and the consuls or the consulates. Oh, let's not forget the honorary consuls too. Lots of people, you can have direct access. And some of these people, I know them very well. And they tell me, they say, yes, if you want to get in touch with so-and-so or this agency or whatever, you come to us, we are your contact. But no, they want you to come to Jamaica to, and then you ask yourself to do what? What is it that you're going to do in Jamaica by having direct access to these people that you couldn't do overseas? Because if the only way you can get things done is to go to Jamaica to meet these people, then guess what? We don't need the embassy, we don't need the High Commission, we don't need the consul. We just need a little unit that will just liaise and do diplomatic work. That's all. You don't need this big body of people. You don't. Then at 9:30, they have a conference. Everybody want to rub shoulders with those people. Then look at the first thing that they're going to talk about, the plenary session. Mobilizing diaspora trade and investment. Here it is. For a resilient Jamaica. Now, the people sleeping in their cars. Does this make sense to them? The people in shelters. This makes sense? Those of you who have no status and used to work for a little money under the table and run up and down and hide, this makes sense to you? Those of you with health problems, those of you trying to navigate the social services system, does this make sense? This is your diaspora at work. Does it make sense? Next on the list. See this? Governor General Achievement Awards. We'll talk about that. Then them have lunch. Then look at this. Them come on and say, we're going to talk about diaspora and returnee business success stories. Well, I submit to them that you have far more failures than successes. And what about those people? What about those people? See this? They're going to be talking about building and scaling ventures in Jamaica. What about the people in the diaspora? Look at the next topic. Well, the next, they have breakout sessions, and here is in room C4, that's what. Look at C9, investing in Jamaica's property market, opportunities for the diaspora. How many of you have money to go down and buy and do all these things that they're talking about? This is supposed to be about people overseas. Now they're saying you must come home and invest. Invest with what? You need help here. In room C6, they're saying, look at this, empowering entrepreneurs and communities through the stock exchange and the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. How many of you trade on the stock exchange? How many of you care about the stock exchange? People wake up. Wake up. At 3 o'clock, they have a plenary session. Look at this. Return, rebuild, thrive, unlocking opportunities. See that? Unlocking opportunities for returning residents. What about the people in the diaspora? Talk to me about those people. Here's one. Building every 2 years they have this topic on building a resilient education system in partnership with the diaspora. Every year they come with this nonsense. Every year, every 2 years. Actually, it's every year, because every year there's something going on, and through the embassies, the consulates, the high commissions, they're asking for help with education. And while you think about this, while you're providing the help for education, that money is stolen. The money goes through the front door and it doesn't get to the classrooms. The money goes through the front door, through the back door. It doesn't go to the side, so the classrooms. Every 2 years they have this topic on building education system with help from the diaspora. People, wake up. Reintegration of involuntary return migrants. This is for people who have been deported. Now, what we need to find out from them is how many of these people have you provided employment for, housing, documentation, and social support for returning? How many of these things have you done for those people? I'm being told that a lot of them, they're living on the Bellevue grounds in a little shelter. A lot of them who have mental issues, who going to take care of them? A lot of them, they're going home for the first time in decades. They don't know anybody there. What kind of support structure has been put in place for them? That should have been done here. There is a group that is doing it. There's a group that is doing it, but they can't do it the way that they would like to do it because of funding and time. And they've provided information to the Jamaican official establishments, the embassies. I know in America, the embassy and the consulates. What have they done with that information? What have they done? That topic alone, I could go on for hours and talk to you about that, about particularly from the intelligence side. But we'll move on. Then here it is. See, 10 or no, people. Meeting of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and Youth Council. See this? They connect with stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? People of influence. That's why they want to go. So they can take the pictures. They can dine with these people. And they can say, we haven't known them. But at the end of the day, how does that translate to helping people in need? Yesterday, we asked a question. How many of you know your Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative? How many of you? Not many of you know your representatives. And those who said we know our representatives, a fair amount of them learned about their representatives, particularly in the Northeast, through us. Through us. All of these things, these topics that they put up, it's nothing new. They do it every 2 years. So that's Monday. Let's go to Tuesday. That's a ceremonial opening. Let's go to Tuesday. Hold on 1 second, folks. Yes. So day 2, you register. Oh, by the way, you have to pay to go to your conference now. Your conference, your diaspora conference, and you're paying through your nostrils because you have to pay not only to enter, but you have to pay to travel. You have to pay for your accommodations. You have to pay for transportation. And if you want to eat outside, I think they may provide lunch, but outside of that, you have to pay for that. So here it is. Here it is now. Securing Jamaica's future, building national climate, tourism, and disaster resilience. All these big words mean, you know what I mean? Give us your money. Give us your money. Look at this. The nerve of these people. The nerve of these people. Look at what they put here, Nara. Look at what they put there. Now my beautiful nieces, then they might check me out. I'm going to watch the uncle at work, man. See, Nara, that is going to be decided in the court. At some point, it's going to be decided in the court. But Nara, them tell me, we're going to present Nara. How can you present Nara to well-meaning, intelligent people? How do you package that to them? How? But guess what? Those who have eyes and can't see, those who have ears and can't hear, they'll package it to them. The ones who are there to rub shoulders. They don't see anything wrong with Nara. They don't see anything wrong with none of this. Next one. Security and public safety. Did somebody say extrajudicial killings? Working together as we continue to build a safer Jamaica. Did somebody say extrajudicial killings? Did somebody say bogus statistics? And we have the evidence to prove it. Did anybody say that? And look how much time them get. Them get 1 hour. 1 hour. With all the issues we have in Jamaica regarding crime and national security. 1 hour. And look who they are speaking. Horace Chang. Horace Chang, a man whose name was mentioned in the WikiLeaks. In a WikiLeaks document from the US government, from the embassy in Jamaica to Washington concerning his alleged activities with gangs. So we have a prime minister who by his own admission has violated criminal statutes in Jamaica. Broke the law. And we have another one right here who has been mentioned in a cable from Jamaica from the US Embassy in Jamaica to Washington, D.C., telling everybody in D.C. about this man. And he's in charge of national security. Here's another one, advancing sustainable agriculture and food security through diaspora partnership. Another way to take your money. Them get a whole heap of money the other day. Lots of money. Another way to take your money. Connecting, engaging, and empowering the youth diaspora for national development. What does that mean? What does that look like? What does it mean? Look at this one. Diaspora role in transforming healthcare. Is this a joke with Dr. Christopher Tufton on the dais speaking? This must be a joke. With all the billions that you, the Jamaican taxpayers, have contributed to the refurbishing of the Cornwall Regional Hospital and other hospitals around the place. And this man, the nerve of this man, the unlimited gall of this man to take the stage to talk about diaspora role in transforming healthcare for improved national well-being. Oh, my people, they've taken us for idiots. You know what? I have to put up, let me just quickly put up. Let me just quickly put up this.
Oh
They
my
are
God.
dark and they are stupid. They are dunce.
Oh
They
my
are
God.
dark and they are stupid.
Could you imagine them saying that behind the backs of the diaspora people? They put this up and say, yeah, we can put this up because they're dunce, they're dark, and they're stupid, and they're like trained seals. What we train them to do is exactly what they're going to do. Don't worry about them. And that's why they find the professor and the provost and people like Mystic and Jeffrey Tavares. That's why they find us so reprehensible. Because we're not dumb. We're dark in complexion. And we're certainly not stupid. Look at the next one. Leveraging the creative economy to build stronger cultural industries. This is a joke, people. One of the key pillars of culture is what? Language. One of the key pillars of culture is language. It's how you express yourself. Yes, dancing is one of them and other things, but language is certainly one of them. And only recently we saw where they said, you can't speak your language. You know, I say you can't speak your language that you created. You can't speak that in Parliament. You can't speak it. But they're going to leverage creative economy to build strong. And again, they use all of these fancy words. And when you look at them they mean nothing except we want your money. Harnessing diaspora talent to build Jamaica's AI and digital future. This is a joke because they already have foreigners in Jamaica doing this. And I bet you go to Jamaica and say, I want to help with AI. They're going to tell you no. There's a company called Amber that has taken over this industry. And there are countries in Jamaica within the digital space. They don't need you. You come and they give you the pretty talk. And then when you do the follow-up, there's no follow-up. They don't remember.
Let me ask this though before you move from that. Right there. You want to harness talent from the diaspora when you have talent within that you can mold. Just yesterday we had Abian on.
Yes, Abian. We had Abian on. Brilliant young girl, 4.0 grade point average. And she can't get any help. She can't get any help from them. Where is the diaspora to help? Where's the diaspora organization to help? And Abian, where is the diaspora? Where's the government in this? But they said, we're here to help. Here's another one, expanding that. By the way, you know, the name of the ministry is Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And let's not forget foreign trade. How much foreign trade they've brought in? They talk. They haven't brought anything in. Here it is, expanding diaspora engagement across borders. And my favorite minister is going to be there. Talking. They give pretty speeches. I don't want to forget this, so I might as well just say it right now. Ask them, have they ever put out an after-action report on any of these conferences? Ask them. And if they say yes, tell them, send it to me so I can see it. Because I want to see what was discussed and what was done. Ask them. Because I tell you what, if it's true that they put after action reports out and things were done, you wouldn't see the same topics coming up every year. There'll be different topics, different challenges to meet and deal with. But here it is right here. Then here it is. Them that already I know mobilize. Diaspora volunteerism for social impact and national development. No, my people, it's not that we're not bright, you know. We're bright, but when they put up all them fancy words, yeah, ask them what you really mean by this. Break it down so that the ordinary person, somebody who has never been to school, then, for example, explain it to them so that they can understand. Look at this. Spotlighting diaspora time, skills, and resources for recovery and resilience following Hurricane Melissa. Sita, them still begging. They're still begging despite the billions and billions and billions of dollars that they've received through loans, donations, and other resources. They're still begging. And look at this. We have some of the sold out crowds there. When I say sold out, sell out. People who have sold out to be with them. Them there and say them all give support to this. All right, closing session. Then we have Day of Empowerment. This is it. They will shuttle you to the empowerment location at Craft Market, Harbor Street, and back to conference hotels. Now, is this helping Jamaica? Is this the kind of help that we're thinking about, Professor? Where you go to a craft market. So what if you don't sell crafts? Is this the kind of economic support that they're bringing to Jamaica? That they say we're bringing people to support the economy. Is this is what they're talking about? Because I tell you what, when you support the hotels, you're not really supporting Jamaica because that money is not staying in Jamaica. And that is going to be one of your biggest expenditures, the hotels. Because God bless the pittance for them pay the poor Jamaican workers. They're not talking about those issues. We are going to be talking about those issues. We're going to have the Hospitality Workers Union, Jamaicans and crew. We're going to have them here exposing this nonsense. No, let's move on. Day of service. And that's it. That's it. That's it. That is it. No. Which part my thing that I know? Let me show you what we plan to talk about. Listen to this, people. You have already, but listen to this again. Listen to where we are talking about.
The Global Jamaica Diaspora Coalition kicks off its second Biennial Diaspora Conference online Sunday, June 14th to Thursday, June 18th from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 6 to 9 p.m. Jamaica time. Join this impressive lineup of speakers as they discuss and provide solutions to crime.
I want you to listen to what we are talking about. We're not talking about resilience and this nonsense. Listen to what we are talking about.
Agriculture, health, economics, tourism, agriculture, health, economics, as they discuss and provide solutions to crime, agriculture, health, economics, tourism, and beach rights access. All are invited and it's totally free. No airline tickets, no hotels, no peddling. Just one diaspora, one voice. That's the second Biennial Diaspora Conference, June 14th to 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 6 p.m. Jamaica time. Join us on YouTube channel Reason with Rattigan. One diaspora, one voice, one Jamaica. Sponsored by our people for the people.
All right. Professor, jump in before I move on to the next thing here.
You know, if there's one thing that has always fascinated me about their conference, it is the fact that, one, yes, it is the same thing that is being repeated, like you said, but there are so many individuals in Jamaica with the skill sets. There are so many communities that can prosper, that can benefit from individuals in Jamaica, entities in Jamaica, taking just a little bit of time to invest in these individuals, in these communities. If you took one child from each household, not so most households have multiple children, 2, 3, one child, and say for this household that, and it doesn't have to be one child from every household. Let me just back up a little bit. One child from a household that doesn't have the resources. So you're not giving a handout, quote unquote, to everybody. You're investing in one child from a household that really doesn't have the resources to make it. And you invest in that one child throughout tertiary education. And then you give that one child a job and a directive that they turn around and do the same thing and give that kind of support to one child. That would make a world of a difference. So why is the focus on individuals who either got the opportunity to move away to find a better life because they couldn't find it in Jamaica? So they moved away, and it's not that the money is easier to acquire in a foreign country. As one who has worked in both countries, I can tell you this. When I worked in Jamaica, I could decide somewhere in the middle of the year, oh, you know what? I'm going to take vacation and I'm going to travel to Florida. I have not managed to take a vacation and travel anywhere since I've been working in Florida. Since moving to Florida. I've held 3 jobs since moving here. I was never in a position to just take up myself and say, you know what, I'm taking vacation now and I'm going to go to Jamaica. Or I'm going to go to even another state. That takes planning and budgeting, and I don't have it like that. When I was working in Jamaica, I could do it. So maybe Will and I have this running joke where we're saying we should have begged few people send some things from Jamaica to us. Because they're in a better position, quote unquote. But if we were to actually do that, if the government was to actually do that, we'd be in a much better position. And they would be able to justify some of the movement of the money. Because, funds disappearing from our Ministry of Education, and people just don't, correction. Funds are unaccounted for. It didn't disappear. It's just that they can't account for it. But if you can't account for it and children are thriving in a community that was suffering, maybe, just maybe, one could assume that is where the money went. Just a thought. Provost.
Yeah, let me just say, I'm reading some of the text messages here, and a dear friend of ours said that they agree with you that there are no other, the organizations don't give back money, 501c3, and that it's a bad precedent I'm setting. Let me just respond by saying, no, it's not a bad precedent. Our supporter went on to say, you can tell people that if they're not committed, then don't donate. Yes, I agree with that. But I don't think it's a bad precedent in maybe that's what I should do, is just say, going forward, if you're not committed to the cause, then don't give money if you're gonna you're gonna be dissatisfied and ask back for your money. But I believe that if they want back their money, give them back their money, because what you've done is you've choked off any negative argument that can make about it. Because you know what they're going to say. Me give him my money, I'm thief for money, and him this and that and that and that. I don't even like ask people for money. Much less we have to go try and defend myself on that level. And like I said, it happened before. People were told to come and ask back for the money. And what did we do? We give them back. There's not one person out there who can say, we gave money to the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, with the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, and we asked back for our money and we didn't get it. Not one single solitary soul. Every person who said they wanted back their money, we gave it to them. And guess what? I felt good about it. I went to bed for the hour and a half, 2 hours of my sleep, and I felt great knowing that nobody out the street can say, well, them give me money and me take them money. I mean, no supporter. Anybody want their money, I will even go into my pocket to make sure so them get back their money. Because I don't want that on my head that people are saying, give me money and me take the money. So I agree with you that going forward, we are telling people that if you give your money, you're not getting it back, right? If you're not committed, if you're not sure, don't give. We will ask, but if you don't feel like it, don't feel forced to give, because once you give, then going forward. But up to this point, I'm willing to give them back their money. All right, let me show you something now.
Before you show that, I want to expose you a little bit.
Right.
People, if there's one thing that you would have never caught Will Rattigan doing, is asking for your financial assistance. Though the foundation requires it, though as a foundation, it is one of the things that is needed. As a 501c3, it is one of the things that is needed for it to benefit, because it's a non-for-profit. It's a non-profit organization. This is not, businesses exist to make a profit. This is not one that exists to make a profit. The profit that can be associated with a foundation, an organization like this one, is the benefit of the community at large. The knowledge that individuals will get from broadcasts like Reason with Rattigan and Come Reason with Rattigan, and through events like this conference, where information is given out in its truest sense. There's no blurring of lines. There's no manipulating of information. It is just presented as it is and explained by someone who has experience not only in investigation, but also as a practicing attorney. I'm just here to make up numbers and make sure that the thing run right. That's all I'm here for.
No. But folks, friends from Licks, so it's a regular habit for them. No friends. They asked, there was an incident more than a year ago, where people asked back for their money, and we gave them. We gave back every person who asked, we gave them. And it's only no that somebody is making an issue out of a donation they want status reports, they don't want to know. And so I just said, look, I can't be bothered with that. I cannot be bothered with that. I don't want to get involved in that. Give them back their money. And so that person is going to get their money back. And so, and anybody who wants their money back, yeah. But what we're going to say, the next initiative that we have, I'm going to make it a point, and I'm sure Kevin and the producers will make sure I do so, is to say, listen, if you're not committed to the cause, don't give. Don't give, because once you give, it's gone. You know? So on that point, I agree with my dear friend. However, I'm still standing by giving back this lady. Well, I don't know if it's a lady, if I'm male or female, but we're gonna give back the money, whoever. But anyway, here's something. Let's just move on. Look at this. Remember this 2024, the Jamaican government, they have, because they're the ones who are putting this thing on. And look, from when they started advertising, from April, the conference was held in June, April. And this year, for some reason, they just didn't want to put out these things. They just didn't want to put out these things. They're afraid.
It's you.
And here's what we put out. We're going to show you what they put out, but here's what we put out, right? We say education, poor leadership. These are the things that we identified, and we said we're going to deal with them. Failed initiatives, poor examination scores, mass immigration of teachers, etc. Health, national security. You see anything up there about investment? You see anything up here about investment? No, because these are the things affecting our people in Jamaica and abroad. Let me go to the third one. It's the same thing. All right. Here's what they put out 2 years ago. Thank God for storage and social media. Them put it up there. Them say engage in impactful dialogue. And look at that, panels and riverside chats and breakouts and keynotes. And look at this, education transformation. They've been saying this every year. Healthcare improvements. What? And then, see the real reason here, people, you will always find this. Investment opportunities. See it right here? You will always find that. It doesn't matter, you know, the 10th, the 9th, well, they're always going to mention that. That was ours. Our one was talking about promise and peace. Them never like it because of that, you know. Here's another one that they have. Agricultural development. Same thing they come back with. Crime prevention and national security. Look at this. Exploring. Let me big it up. Look at this. Exploring innovative strategies to build safer communities. Did somebody say extrajudicial killings? Did somebody say police killing innocent people? Did somebody say bogus statistics? We have to keep saying these things, you know, so that people understand that this is a truism. These things are true, what we're saying, that police have taken over to a large degree where the bad man them used to do. They're killing people, innocent people, not all of them, but a significant amount, because guess what? Now, remember now, they were talking about body cams. And then when they realized that, wait a minute, body cams would mean that a lot of us would go to prison. Them say, oh, no. We're only going to use body cams for traffic. But when we're going on operations, and then you remember the silly reason the Dr. Chang man gave for it, for not wearing body cams during operations. And here we are. We're still a force larger without body cams, and particularly when we're going on operations. And that's when you need them. And here's another one, trade and economic development. You will always find that. You will always find that. That's the way that them do them thing. Here we are. See this? See this one? This is for the conference going on now. They said, we are sold out. Yes. 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 It should say, we have sold out, not we are sold out. We have sold out. This right here. Kevin, we can't cover it up and put, all right, something else. This one right, let's go. Cross out this. We need to cross out that, Kevin. And instead of saying we are sold out, it should read, we have sold out. That's what it should read. Because that's exactly what they've done. The people them who, and I tell you what, a lot of them you see pack up and pay big money. Them don't know, them all pay that bill there and them come back to America, you know. And in Canada. Them don't know them go and pay that bill. And with them have to show feet, them have a couple pictures. That's it.
Someone in the chat here at the beginning of the broadcast mentioned that they have a child who is working that the government had put up for like 2,000 US a night.
2,000.
It can't be 2,000. It can't be 2,000 US a night. That makes sense.
No, 2,000 for the period.
It's for the period.
Yeah, for the period. Yeah, from Sunday through Thursday.
Right. So for like $2,000. I know some 2,000 was on there somewhere. Um, and they continued to say how individuals are not buying it. You know, they're not down for it. Them don't like it. Nothing. People are going because that is their job. This guy. Wilfred Rattigan.
That's what they must out there. We have sold out. That's exactly the people who are there, Kevin, because and some of them they sell out themselves too because they cannot afford this, Kevin. I'm telling you. They're going to worry when them come back and them see that credit card bill, they don't know how to pay it. And then they have to think to themselves, what have I gained from this? I spoke to a gentleman today who has been, he has been to several of these conferences. And he said, I stopped going because I realized that nothing is coming out of it. It's just a matter of people just meeting and greeting, taking pictures and all that. And you listen to some fancy speeches. And at the end of the day, there's nothing to show for it. So that's where we are. We have sold out. Let me see what else is here, Kevin. Oh, that we just did that. And what's this one? Oh, that's a policy. All right. So make we take this down now. I just lost these.
You lost what? No, I'm not looking at it.
Vase right here. All right, let me remove it and bring it forward. All right. Now, you see, 2 years ago, where's the 10 reasons? Oh, here it is. No, that's not. Oh, this is ours.
Yeah, it is. It should be there beside it.
Let me go up. Okay, yeah, here it is. 2 years ago, they said this. I tell you how stupid and how sold out these people are, the ones who are there now, right? And I said the ones who are there, there are people there reporting to us what's going on. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who actually go there believing that they're going to get something out of this. 2 years ago, they said, we're going to give you 10 reasons to attend the conference. 2 years ago, here are the 10 reasons. One, do you believe this? The first reason, it's in Montego Bay. Sun, sand, and opportunities. Let's talk about sand. On Thursday, we're going to talk about beach access, land rights, tourism, and we're going to say to those sold out people, shame on you. Shame on you. You are there experiencing the sand. And guess what? The people who actually should be experiencing it don't have a chance. Unless they're going to spend the $300-400 a night to go to that establishment. They don't have access to the beach. And instead of you talking about these things and getting the government to realize that through the power of unity, we can get things to change. Instead of doing that, you're going there and you're licking the boots of these people. You're cozying up to them. You're encouraging them. And you, same one, your family members cannot access those beaches. Your family members living in Jamaica. But 10 years ago, they said, 2 years ago, go because of the sun and the sand. Remember, it was after COVID. So they said, come and let's jam in Jamaica. Tita, let's jam in Jamaica. Well, can be a problem with me, Tita. That's why you must come to the conference, to jam in Jamaica. Here's 3. So not only must you come and jam, I don't know what kind of jam they might talk about, because now they say come and party. So I don't know if jam means the same thing as party, then why are you saying it twice? Number 2, come and jam in Jamaica. Number 3, come and party in paradise. Don't understand these people. And these people are supposed to be the best and the brightest minds. But you know what? They believe that the people they're speaking to are dumb, dark, and stupid. That's why they can say these things and get away with them. But that day is fast coming to an end. Remember, they said in their thing, they're going to take you to the craft market, take a piece of your island back home with you, number 4. And our producers just put up that, yeah, but the craft items, they were manufactured in China, Macau, Taiwan, everywhere but Jamaica. So when you say take a piece of our island, what does that mean? Take a piece of our island take a piece of our island crafts created by other countries so you can take home. Come on, people. Here is 5. You're going to the conference to eat jerk chicken and jerk pork and patties. That look like oxtail to me. But this is why we're going, you know, Kevin. We're going there because we're going to eat jerk. That's why we're going to do. Well,
You get some food.
I remember one time I was in Jamaica with some friends of mine. And I remember this guy was a stranger to Jamaica, and he said, why did they call it jerk chicken? And I remember the girl answered him and said, chicken for jerks. We won't say that. But what we'll say is if you have to go to Jamaica to eat jerk chicken, if that's the reason for going, then you certainly are a jerk if that's why you're going. 6, come and find your dream home as if you can you can't go yourself and look for your dream home. Nonsense. 7, come on and enjoy a road trip. Jamaica full of pothole. No road trip that. Reconnect with your roots. Visit your old stomping grounds. You don't have to go to the conference to do that. I wonder what were they thinking when they come up with all this nonsense. Then here, the conference will include a diverse agenda. Learn how members of the diaspora can get tangible benefits from active participation in the global Jamaican community. When, where, how, why, whom. Network in paradise. This is what they're really talking about. It's a money thing, right? Now, take a look at this. This is our answer to that. Hold on, let me remove this. All right. Is it this, Kevin? That's theirs. Remove. This is ours. Okay. Oh, you put this up. OT, put this up. Who put this up? John, put this up. OT, put this up. Start from the beginning for me, please.
Oh, but you have the PDFs.
Yeah, that. I can't control it.
No. On the other screen.
Oh, hold on a second. One.
At the bottom.
Okay. I think it's this one here. So they gave you 10 reasons 2 years ago. And we gave you 10 reasons not to attend. And Montego Bay, exploitation of hotel workers. We talk about that. 2, we have the health, the travel advisory, or the threat advisory. There's Minister Tuft and there are people all over the place. 3, average Jamaican can't afford to go to this party here. Crafts purchase. Look at this. Tourism Minister really embarrassed by foreign products in Jamaican craft markets. See that? Jerk chicken and all of that. We have tampered food missing in Jamaica. 3 or 4 containers of tampered food missing. I think just before, was it before or after? Just before or just after Melissa. And so far, no word on that. Grocery bill,
After.
well high. And we went through all 10 of them. But after we started mimicking them and started, you know, but actually we never mimic them. After we start abuse them verbally about the 10 reasons why. This was 2 years ago. Look at this. Them stripped from 10 reasons now to 5 reasons to come this year. There's a date right here. There's a date right here. Where's the date there? It moved, Kevin.
Make it smaller.
Is that it? Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. They just put this out. 5 reasons. How we get to the 5 reasons, Kevin?
The rest of it not there?
No.
Wait. Scroll down. Go back. Scroll down. Where you see the ellipses? Up a little bit. The ellipses right there after hurricane.
After hurricane. Right there?
Is there?
No.
Does
It
it
can't
be
be
more?
Mm-mm.
Huh.
All right, let me move this because we have more things we can do.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me move some of these. I want to play the Prime Minister. Let me move this. Move these two for me, please. This one.
Okay, so I can't move those.
All right, we'll put them up.
producer,
Okay, move those
producer,
two, please.
The 3 slides. Why to reasons to attend and reasons to not attend. If you could just remove those 3 slides, please. Yeah, I can't remove them from my
All
side.
right, we talked about this yesterday.
Not your birth that makes you Jamaican. It is the choices you make for your country.
Then what can go? So somebody please explain this to me, man.
We talked about this yesterday as well, but it's pertinent to bring it up today. It's not your birth in Jamaica that makes you a Jamaican. It's the choices you make for Jamaica. So guess what, Kevin? The Prime Minister would say that we are not making choices for Jamaica because we're questioning the things that he's done. And therefore, it's not a good choice. He would extrapolate from that it's for Jamaica. It's not against him, it's against Jamaica because he's the Prime Minister, and by extension, when you criticize him, you're criticizing the country. So therefore, we are not Jamaicans. And yesterday we showed you in the Constitution that says one of the ways you become a Jamaican is by birth. And the only time your birth won't count is if you renounce your Jamaican citizenship. And that is a process. It's not something where you just, whereby becoming an American citizen, then you lose your Jamaican citizenship. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to fill out paperwork. It has to go through a process and approvals for them to cross you off the list and say you're no longer Jamaican. If that is not done, you continue to remain a Jamaican. So all of you diaspora people there, think about what the Prime Minister said. Think about what he said. So that's why, and I could see somebody making the argument that then I'm not Jamaican because the choices I made, even though the choice I made is for Jamaicans, which is, for example, is to file a lawsuit against Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith. And they're saying that you don't have standing. You don't have standing if you're not Jamaican. I have never renounced. So I have no idea what you're talking about. So he said that, and we just have to deal with that. OT, Joan, just move the slides with the 10 reasons and the 5 reasons. We can skip that. And then I want to show folks something. Oh, by the way, folks, let me tell you what's coming up. Tomorrow, we're going to be discussing education. You see, like how them have all 5 and breakout rooms, and them are talk about resilience and this and use fancy words. No, let me just tell you exactly what's going on so you understand. Tomorrow, we're going to be discussing education. Tuesday, national security. Wednesday, health and the economy. And Thursday, we're going to be discussing tourism, beach access, land rights, land ownership. Let me repeat. Tomorrow, we're going to be discussing education. Tuesday, national security. Wednesday, health and the economy. And Thursday, tourism, beach access, land rights, and ownership. See how simple that is? We don't have to go and come up with any, $100 word and, act like we're brighter than everybody else. And no, we don't have to do that. Not necessary. Take a look at this, people.
Diaspora is fighting back against government control. The Jamaican diaspora lives across the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. They send billions back home every single year. And in 2026, they are fed up. The Global Jamaica Diaspora Council was supposed to represent overseas Jamaicans. Instead, it is chaired by a government minister. Some of its members are not even elected. They are appointed by the Jamaican government. In the 2023 election, only 3,000 people voted out of millions in the diaspora. 3,000. That is not representation. That is a loyalty test. Patrick Beckford, a former diaspora board leader in the United States, called for a full boycott of the 2026 elections. He said the council should be dismantled and rebuilt as a truly diaspora-controlled institution. The government responded by pushing the elections forward anyway. Now there is a defamation lawsuit filed in New York. Diaspora leaders are taking this fight to American courts because when you cannot get justice at home, you find it somewhere else. The diaspora built their lives abroad. They still love Jamaica, but they refuse to be controlled by the same system they left behind. This is resistance, just in a different form. Drop a yes if you are part of the Jamaican diaspora and you feel unheard. Follow and subscribe to Jamaica Untold Stories for more stories they are not covering.
You can go ahead and remove it, yeah.
So they mentioned Mr. Patrick Beckford and he was supposed to join us. We're still waiting. We're still waiting to get him to get his take on. You can remove that as well. Joan, OT, you can remove those two. There is a... We're not getting Mr. Patrick Beckford, but that's fine. We'll continue. Here is remove the ones that we've played already, please.
Really is spectacular.
Yeah.
So we have a wonderful lineup of panelists, moderators, hosts, including yourself. You've been hosting day 2. We do appreciate it. But it's about putting Jamaica squarely on the map as destination trade and investment. I mean, sure, we have the beaches, we have the food, we have the wonderful people, but for me, when we are rebuilding a Jamaica for the future, it's important that our diasporans, that they can capitalize on the growth prospects to be had. And so you're looking at different sessions. For example, on Monday. Monday is a day that is so compact with the discussion surrounding trade and investment opportunities. We're going to be discussing the stock market. We're having the senior persons from the Jamaican stock market that they'll be discussing there. Jamaica stock market has, in the last decade alone, 2 or 3 times has been voted voted as the best stock market, the junior stock market in the world. Then we're talking about trade and investment. You know, we're going to have in Jampro doing presentations, Minister Severite and others doing presentations. Then we're looking at, for example, day 3. Very, very interesting. The diaspora has always been wonderfully engaged in philanthropy in Jamaica, so volunteerism. So Auntie Donna is going to be on that day. Angel out of
Auntie Donna.
The Auntie Donna. Listen, she is a pioneer in terms of philanthropy and giving back and getting the diaspora to rally around Jamaicans. And so that's a very important, especially when you consider in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, and and the millions of dollars that our diasporans were able to secure to help Jamaicans here. Angel Foundation out of the UK, they'll also be a part of that program. And very interestingly, on that day as well, expanding your brand across borders. So we have Butch Henderson, who is going to be there. We have William Mafood, who's going to be presenting as well. These are recognizable Jamaican brands, you know, from the Wisinka Group, National and so forth, and how they have expanded beyond Jamaica, across the UK, across America. And of course, our ambassador, DJ Mills, who's one of our leading trade experts, will be discussing on that program as well. So it's a range of topics. We can't leave out AI and technology, and we have leading experts from Jamaica and from the diaspora who will be speaking about the future of our AI policy and how we can get greater tech in. Then we have our youth empowerment sessions on Tuesday. You know, I mean, it's sort of a merge of diaspora youth and Jamaican youth going forward. But
there's going to be so much. Because even on the topic of technology and the AI integration, down to the very armband, because it's one of the things that we launched as well, that the persons will receive. You're talking about an integration of that, you know, so that's something there to look forward to. As you mentioned, rebuilding, and I said it as well before, that Jamaica's Talawa was tested with Hurricane Melissa, and you're saying rebuilding as we push forward. We cannot do things the very same way again, right? Yes. We have to be building with sustainability in mind and, you know, the future. So how are we going to be zoning in on that at the conference?
I'm very glad you asked that question, because Ambassador Anthony Anderson will be leading a panel speaking about resilience and rebuilding Jamaica. As you know, NARA is a big answer by the government in terms of how do we rebuild without all the bureaucracy, but keeping accountability at the fore. And that will be a part of the discussion. So we're looking at climate change and how it impacts Jamaica, but we're also looking at new technologies, new way of building a more resilient Jamaica. So that will be a very, very interesting panel. Persons can ask their questions, get the responses that they want. So we're really looking forward to that session as well.
Yeah.
Did we lose your provost? Well,
yeah. The video before that one referenced the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. Which is why they're having this thing there in Jamaica. Now, think about it, and somebody mentioned it in the chat. If you're going to have a conference about the diaspora, wouldn't it make sense to have that conference in the diaspora? And I know what they're going to say. They say, oh, well, we have some regional conferences. No. I'm talking about the biennial conference, the big one. Wouldn't it make sense to have it 1 year in the US, 2 years later in the UK, 2 years later in Canada, and 2 years later in Jamaica, so that everybody can get a piece of the pie? Everybody can meet people on their ground. Wouldn't that go a long way to saying that, yes, the diaspora is inclusive? The diaspora organization is run by the diaspora members. Wouldn't, and other reasons, but wouldn't it make sense to do that as opposed to just every 2 years they have it in Jamaica? Now, here's this. They tell you that, well, ask yourself this question. Who pays for the diaspora conference to be held in Jamaica? Who rents the conference center? Who takes care of all the arrangements? Who? The Jamaican government. The Jamaican government does. But then they'll tell you that the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council is not an arm of the government, but it is run by the government. That's a contradiction in terms. It's not an arm of the government, but it's run by the government. Can you think of something that the government is involved with, but is not really connected to the government? And when I say that, I'm talking about things where the government is involved for more than 50%. Can you think of something like that where they would say, well, the government is involved? I bet it, let me put it to you like this, where you can say the government owns 75% of it, but the government is not a part of the government. And somebody might say, we have issues with the word own. Well, let's say run. Let's say influence. Let's say directed. Let's say led. Have you ever seen something like that? And then they tell you, you must vote for your leaders. But it is not an arm of the government. And we're going to put on this conference and we're going to tell you what the agenda is going to be. Well, let's just take a walk back into the terms of reference. Look at this. It is important to note that the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council is not NOT, an arm of the government of Jamaica. And consequently, the views expressed by council members do not represent the views of the government of Jamaica. Now, here's the thing. You know who's a member of this organization? The gentleman who just spoke, Mr. Terry Long. So when he speaks, if you follow this, what he says does not necessarily reflect the view of the government of Jamaica. But I thought when he spoke in an official capacity, it was to represent the government of Jamaica. How could this be?
It's not an official capacity that he is speaking.
So then if you say, well, he's not a member, he's an executive, so it doesn't count. When they say council members, they're talking about the 31 people who are voted or appointed, because he's not appointed, he chairs it. He's not part of that. So if you exclude him, then you say, it says the work of the council is, and look at this word here. English is not my first language, but I like English. Look at this. It says also. So if it says also, it means there's something before, right?
In addition.
Right, in addition. It says the workup is also advisory in nature. It says you're not an arm of the government. When you speak, you don't speak for the government. And whatever you do, you're advising the council. And here, look at this. You make recommendations. That's what you do. Make recommendations for consideration by the government and its policy-making bodies. Now, let me ask you something. You remember the first reason why they established this council? To ensure that you living in the diaspora prosper. Now, all of a sudden, it's not about you prospering. It's about you advising the government of Jamaica. And they said, and when you come here as a member, you dare not speak and think that you're representing the government. You don't. You see that? The views expressed by council members do not represent the views of the government of Jamaica. So your views as a council member, who do they represent? Who?
Well, you're supposed to be representing the diaspora.
No, but when you ask the people in the diaspora, who are your representatives? They say, we don't know. We don't know. These people are a joke. Now look at this now, people. Let's dig a little bit deeper. They say it comprised 28 members. Actually, it's 30 now, because this is the old. Kevin, if you can find the October one, the terms of reference and operational modalities updated October 2025. Because this is the one before that.
They're both there.
I don't see it. because that one will say 30 members. And I tell the people, I know these documents better than the members themselves, including the minister. I know this document through and through. I can teach them about this, and it's not one, it's actually 3. And guess what? They're finding out in court, in the court documents we submitted, there are 3 documents like this. One is called Terms of Reference. The second one is called Terms of Reference and Operational Modalities. And the third one is called Terms of Reference and Operational Modalities, but it was updated in October of last year. And you can't use them interchangeably. You know why? Because they have different terms in them. The second one is different from the first one. And the third one is different from the first and the second one. So when you say Terms of Reference and Operational Modalities, you're talking about 2 documents. If you say Terms of Reference, you're talking about 1 document. And they comprise all 3 documents. They have 1 Terms of Reference and 2 Terms of Reference and Operational Modalities. And of the 2, there was an update, October of last year. You find it, Kevin? Is it this one?
The one revised.
It says updated. That's the word they use.
The second one right here.
Yeah, that's it. Let me see. Pull it up. Ah, that's it. Thank you. Let me go. Theater people. Theater. The first one is called Terms of Reference. In fact, let me show you the first one. The first one is this is the first one. That's the very first one they have. You notice it doesn't say operational modalities. That's the first one. This is the one they started out with, right? And then Kevin just showed me this one. This is the very last one. The second one does not have this. The second one is it's just this. This is the most recent version of the document, right? Now look at this. And I know they're watching, you know, the people involved in the lawsuit. I know they're watching and they're learning. So watch and learn, people. Now, it has the same thing right here. Here it is right here. It is important to know, here it is. There, that's all there, right? All right, remember I told you, see now, it said that the old one said 28 members. See, this one said 30, right? 30 members. Now look at this. 14 of them are elected. 14 of the 30 elected. Look at this. The remaining 16 should be appointed. Appointed by whom? Here it is. By the minister with responsibility for diaspora affairs. That is Mr. Terry Long. So the government of Jamaica will appoint 16 of the 30 members. Think about that. It's your diaspora. It's your election. But they're telling you that only 14 of you will be elected because we are going to appoint 16. Right? Think about that. And look at this. The minister may appoint any additional sector member for a term where the members agree that such sector is applicable. And so they will adjust the number. So they have 30, but they can go up to 35, 36. As long as the council members say, yeah, we need more people, then the minister says, yes, I will appoint them. You don't do anything. You stay out of this. I will appoint them. So right away, you have more appointed members than you have elected members. You see where we're going with this? It's your organization. You are the voters. but you don't have the majority say, because the government has ensured that it will control this organization, that 16 of the 30, 16 or more, they will appoint. And here it is, 9 members may be selected for, whenever you see appointment, it's the government. Then the minister may appoint another individual who's not selected on the basis. So then pick another person. Of course, pick another person. Now, look at this. Look at this. Remember now that this is supposed to be a movement. A movement does not have this kind of structure that you see here. This is an organization. This is not a movement. Now look at this. The Global Jamaica Diaspora Council will be led. There it is. Will be led and supported by 4 people. Who are those 4 people? The chair is the minister. Right here. That's the chair. That's Mr. Terry Long. A vice chair, somebody from the diaspora, will be appointed. And remember what I said is the government appoint people, not the diaspora. So you have the chair, government official, and then him appoint somebody where him want in the diaspora. So you think him go appoint? You think him go appoint a Kevin Steele? You think him go appoint a Mystic Sensation? You think him go appoint a Jeffrey Tavart? No matter mention Rattigan, because that not happen.
That will never happen.
Which watch? Never gonna find her. Kevin, you're bad. Hold on a second. All right, people, look at that. We'll go back over. He's going to appoint some people. You think he's going to appoint a Kevin Steele? You think he's going to appoint a Mystic Sensation? You think he's going to appoint a Jeffrey Tavares or a Marvin or a Andre? Or what? You think he will appoint any well, actually, it's diaspora people. You think he will appoint any of us? Especially a Rattigan?
That won't be happening. That will not happen. That will never happen.
They will not appoint a Rattigan, so we're fine with that, all right? But look, then the third person is the undersecretary with responsibility for diaspora. That is a government person from the ministry. And the fourth person is the director of diaspora affairs in the ministry. So again, 4 people running the organization, 3 are government officials, and the 4th is a person appointed by the minister. So you can say, well, go on right there. So you think this 4th person what them have in the diaspora, if the minister said this is what we're going to do, you think that person have the gumption to say no, we're not going to do it because that's not in the best interest of the diaspora. That is not going to make us prosper in the diaspora. And we're not going to do it. You think they will do that? You think they will do that? No.
Let me ask a silly question. What's the purpose of the election?
That's a good point. I will say to you that given the structure of the organization, given the nature of the organization, that it doesn't make sense to have an election. It would make more sense to say it's going to be if you wanted to truly be an advisory board, then you say what we're going to do is we're going to appoint people, meaning the government will say we're going to appoint people and have them advise us. But you can't have an election and then you run the whole thing and then you tell the people who are elected that, by the way, you're not an arm of the government, you're not this, you're not that, but we're going to lead you. And when you speak, you don't speak on our behalf. Then whose behalf do they speak on? Do they speak on the diaspora's behalf? Because they're not speaking on the diaspora's behalf, because if you go back and you look, all of these people, they're kowtowing to the government of Jamaica. In fact, remember we had a candidate on who said that she believed that she would be working for the government of Jamaica. That's how brainwashed they have these people.
And she never came back.
She never came back. She said, I'll come back, and she did not come back. She did not. No, look at this. Let me find something else.
Oh, before you go on, you see that flyer down there?
Which one?
The one that says we are sold out.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Let me add this to the stage. There it is. There it is, my people. There it is. The 11th Jamaica Diaspora Conference being held in Jamaica. The people from the diaspora who are in attendance, the majority of them, this is the message that they're sending to us, that they have sold us out. Your representatives have sold us out. Ask them, what are we going to do about the people? So you see, we're going to talk about that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There are people in Jamaica suffering. Them don't have anything to do with that. Because you know what? They see us as a piggy bank. They say, let's tap into them and just take as much as we can from them. We don't need advice from them. When was the last time? Ask them, since it's a consultative and advisory body, ask them, when was the last time the Jamaican government took advice from them? Just ask them that. When? They're a useless bunch of clowns. Useless. They're not fighting for you. They're going along to get along. They want national awards. They want public recognition. They desire friendship and affiliation. They're not working for you. You voted for them, but they're not working for you. They're no different than some of the politicians in Jamaica. No different than most of the politicians in Jamaica. They're not working for you. They have sold out. Kevin, we need this poster. We have to put it up every night. And we need to let them know that they have sold out. Come talk about we are so conference. So, by the way, last year we heard that they were busing people to the conference because they didn't have enough people. They were busing people to the conference. And asked them, where's the after action report from last year? Where is it? No after action report from last year. I love this thing here, Kevin. We have to keep it. It's a keepsake. That's a keeper. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. See this? This is duties and responsibilities. See it here? Of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. Our representatives. Right? Look and tell me if you see anything about diaspora, helping diaspora inside here. I'll read it for you. If you can't see it. Let me see. All right. It says the work of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council presents an exceptional opportunity for who? For the government. See it right there, sir? For the government and the ministry. More government. To engage with a wide range of stakeholders whose views, perspectives, network. See this? Networks. Very important. And resources. Forget about the first two, views and perspectives. They're not interested in what you have to say. They're interested in what you can give. Look at it. It says, are essential to attaining the national development priorities of the diaspora. Hell no. Not of the diaspora, of the government. There it is. And it says, proactive, explicit, and far-reaching effort will therefore be made to utilize the council as, look at this, will be made to utilize the council, meaning we're going to use the council as a source of, forget about advice, ideas. This is, when I say inputs, they're talking about resources, money,
funds.
And look at it. So, and look at it with respect to the government's priorities at home and abroad. They're not talking about you.
Which government?
The Jamaican government. Jamaican
So
government.
it's not even the government. It's not even the government of the country that you live in.
No, it's not the government you live in. And I need to show them something. I need to show them. It's all about them acquiescing to the government of Jamaica. Let me see.
You are essentially a foreign agent?
Yes, foreign agent. You're supposed to register. That's why I don't know register. Look at this one here now, Kevin, in green right here. It says the draft is no longer a draft. It says the national diaspora policy also recognizes that Jamaicans abroad represent a wealth of human capital, skills, knowledge, and expertise. They don't care about that. Social capital, relationships, and networks. The last one is the one they really care about. Financial capital that can be leveraged to support national development. That's the one they care about. That is the one they care about. And let me see this. Oh, here's it. We did this one already. We worked through that already. And for those of you who are familiar with what's going on with the lawsuit on the courts, this is section 5.2, the Gleaner. Remember section 5.2? This 5.2, every member must meet the following criteria, blah, 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 blah. And they said part of the Gleaner reported that I was a criminal by elimination. Only two people they rejected. And everybody knew that I was not rejected because of a late filing, because we talked about the fact that when they said we're going to reschedule the election, I showed you the letter on the program where they said if you were already registered as a nominee, then you don't have to register. So everybody knew that I was not a late filer. So by the process of elimination, it's only two people they rejected. So if they rejected one for late filing, then you know that's not me. So the other person must be me. But here's the thing about it, these stupid people. Look at this, Part C, what it says. It says appointment. It doesn't say election or elected. It's appointment. This section 5.2 is about appointing people to the council. The 16 people, this is for them. If you want to see, which part, the other one that, Kevin, the election one there. Where the election one there, me no see it, yeah. The election manual.
Ooh. So we have to look for that one again.
Yeah, hold on. On the need to see this, people. On the need to see this. Believe me. Oh, see it, yeah?
Oh.
All right. Let me show you something. Look on the document. Look at them fool. Look on the document. The document, after them document this, it's the election process for membership, not appointment. Them forget to them have the document, yeah. Them forget about the document, yeah. And see this document, yeah. Look at though. It tell you about how you get elected. In fact, let me go back and show you something. See it right, see the content, yeah. See it, yeah? Elections and Electoral Committee, nominations of candidates and eligibility, voter eligibility, registration and voting. This is a document that you use for elections. This is a document you use for elections, right? This is the document you use for appointment. This one here. This one. The terms of reference, you use that for appointments. And use the election manual for elections. And the damn fools went and changed this one in October when they heard that I was going to run. Them changed it in October 2025. This is the date, 13th of October. Them said, no, we have to get rid of Rattigan. But the idiots, they didn't realize that they had an election manual. So they went to the appointment manual and changed that and put all of the nonsense inside there when they should have changed the one I just showed you. Right? And where is it? 5. Yeah, this one right here. See it right, it says right here, appointment. See it right here. Doesn't say anything about election, appointment. But here is something else that them feel for them. Let me show you something. Show you something now. Oh, so the structure of it here. You see who's at the top of it? And it says membership. So when we're talking about members can't speak on behalf of the government, I guess the chair can't speak on behalf of the government of Jamaica, which is nonsense. Here it is. So they appoint members from over here, and they appoint sector members, and they have a discretionary member. So you have, it actually comes out to 31. 14 over here, and 17. 14 over this side here, and 17 over this side. What a shame. But look at this. Amendment to the terms of reference. I'll tell you how dumb these people are. It says, you can amend this thing, you have to amend it in writing. That's one. Following consultation and agreement by a decision of no less than 2/3 of the full membership. No, I tell you what, they're running around now and they're trying to gin up some people, but we're going to get them. We're going to get them. And here's why. You see all the changes that they made to this manual, thinking that it's going to affect Rattigan. Even if you want to apply it to me, they have to show, remember now, it was amended October of last year. They have to show that the 2/3 of the full membership agreed to that. And my information is that when they amend these things, they amend them at the biennial conference. There was no conference last year. The conference is going on now. So you know what I did? I wrote to them and I said, give me evidence that this thing was changed based on section 14.1. And guess what? No. But God knows the
theme song for that one.
God knows sleep. We'll get the information. We'll get it. There was another video here. Oh, John, OT, you move the wrong videos them. Put back the videos and just move this one here. This one here.
Which one? They can't see which one you're pointing to. You are the only one that can see which one you're pointing to.
That's for resistance. They can move that. And just put back the other one. No, people, I hope you understand what this Global Jamaica, that was our purpose tonight, was just to come out and explain to you what is going on. So all of you who voted, we're explaining to you what you voted for, what it means. So we start out by telling you what the organization is. And by telling you what it is, we've also told you what it isn't. And it isn't about representing you in reality. In terms of a policy, it says it is to represent you. It is to help you to succeed so that you can use some of that achievement to help the people of Jamaica, to turn that success into assistance for people of Jamaica. That's what it was supposed to do. It hasn't done that. Its focus is completely on the government of Jamaica, not even the people of Jamaica, the government of Jamaica. And you see what it's turned into? It turned into what them call it, a consultative advisory body whose opinions mean nothing to the government of Jamaica. They're not listening to them. They're not listening to them. So we wanted to start off by letting you know that this organization that is in Jamaica is controlled by the government of Jamaica. The organization was designed for you. It was designed to help you. And in fact, you participate in its creation and you participate in its continuation because you vote in that election. You vote. No, you voted recently, and for what? For your members now to go down to Jamaica to act as subordinates to the government. And I've always said that I do believe that the diaspora organization should be run by the diaspora. The diaspora should chart its future with this organization because we helped to start this thing and we vote in it. And I do believe that the diaspora organization should have a relationship with any Jamaican government, any and every. But that relationship should not be hierarchical. It shouldn't be from top down. The government at top and then the government dictate. Well, it should be flat. It should be a partnership where we can sit down and we can talk to each other as equals. Not where you're dictating to people. That's the kind of relationship that should be forged between both sides. Because at the end of the day, we're one and we want what's best for Jamaica. We don't necessarily want what is best for the Jamaican government. We want what is best for Jamaica. Keep this in mind that the Jamaican government does not always have the Jamaican people's interests at heart, at home and abroad. So we want to illuminate that distinction to say there's a difference between trying to help the government and trying to help the people of Jamaica. So the flat relationship I'm talking about is one where when you help the government, you hold the government accountable. You just don't give and forget. You give and track. And say, we're making, and it's supposed to be a relationship based on trust and honesty so that you know that the government, when they get the thing, whatever assistance you're providing, it's earmarked for a certain neighborhood, a certain group, or whatever it is, that the assistance will get to where it is supposed to go. That is all we're asking for. But that is not what we're getting. So, now that you know what this organization is and isn't, and what they're doing in Jamaica, we are now going to talk about the real issues because they're talking about investments. They're talking about high finance. Most of you in the diaspora, you have no business going to that place. No business. It's not about you. What you want to hear is, hey, my cousin has an issue, and we don't know how, a medical issue, and we don't know how to traverse the terrain of social services. What's the best way? Can you help? Can you give me some advice? Or, like the young lady last night, who needs just a little help to get her over the hump. The diaspora organization should be able to say, listen, we can't give you all of the money, but we will help you. And we should have some diaspora members involved who are involved in the industry or the profession that she's studying that can say, listen, we can give you some guidance, we can give you some part-time work, and then the rest of us should be able to chip in and say, listen, we can give you some money to take care of this, take care of that. That is what a diaspora organization is supposed to do, people. It is not there to support a government. It is there to support a people. And now that they're not doing it, they're not talking about issues. They're just whitewashing the issues. You see, they're going to talk about what? Education along with 5 other things. And they won't give you the down and dirty about it. But we will. Because you need to know. And so, again, I repeat, tomorrow we will be discussing education. On Tuesday, we're going to be discussing national security. The extrajudicial killings, that's a topical issue. We're going to be talking about that and ways to get around that. On Wednesday, we're going to be talking about healthcare and the economy. And then on Thursday, we're going to be talking about tourism, beach access, and land rights, land ownership. Tell me if those are not the topics you want to hear. You want to hear discussed. You would hope that in Jamaica they would be discussing this in this forum so that people could get comprehensive understanding of what's going on and where we're going. But that's not the case, because you know why? It's about money. If you notice, did you hear any of our topics touch on investment, high finance? No. Because the regular people don't have that kind of funds. But putting that aside, the organization is not supposed to be doing this. That is not the purpose of the organization. I would like them to come and say, well, you know what? We have some people in Brooklyn in a shelter, some Jamaicans in a shelter, and we shouldn't have our people in a shelter. Let's find a way to get them out of the shelter and get them back on their feet so that they can become productive members of society and achieve success and leverage that success into helping the people of Jamaica. Those are the discussions I'd like to hear about. But you won't. And even if I show you, they come up with the same topics every year. We're going to talk about ways to improve education every year. And every year they talk about things get worse. I just want to say again to all of you people who struggled, rubbing the two pants together, on the quatty together, on the tropans together, and say, "Now go Jamaica," because I don't want to go have direct contact with agencies and ministers. Here's who you are. You have sold out. You have sold out. So them said, thank you for your overwhelming support of selling out. Professor, talk to the people. We only have 4 minutes.
People, for those of you who are familiar with Reason with Rattigan, and we go through the engagement norms, they apply to the conference. Come with an open mind. Comment from, support celebrate the comments of others. Comment from a standpoint, contributing to what is happening, not tearing it down, not distracting or detracting. It is important that we do not forget why we participate in something like this. It's not for kicks and giggles. I know for a fact Will has minimal sleep nights and a lot of it is consumed by putting together some of the material that is presented, by reading through. This man reads through a document at least 3 times. I'm not too sure how exactly he does it, but he does it. And each time he reads through a document, he finds something new in the same document. Same document. And sometimes we're talking and I would stop and I would say, you know, things not right with you, right? But we love him for it nonetheless. And so as we partake of this conference, as we engage in this conference, each person on a device tonight, I encourage you to come back tomorrow with at least one person.
Right.
Even if they're critical of what Will Rattigan has been doing in recent times, in times past gone by, no matter how critical they are, tell them to come along with their criticism.
Yes.
Because that is important. And to express that criticism and do so with respect. If you do it respectfully, then we can express a difference of an opinion, right? It's not all the time Will and I agree on things. I can tell you, we have moments where we said, no, Rattigan, no Ratty, no Will, no sir. That cannot be do. Not doing that. And
Kevin, right there, it reminds me of something, and I was thinking about you today, about this particular point, this same particular point. I was thinking about it with you today, where we say that, I wonder if people understand that sometimes Kevin and I, we disagree because, they see us and they probably say, oh, them all this, but they don't know that you and I, we have some serious disagreement about some things, but we disagree with respect, right? And you know what they say, that if you have two people running a business and they're always in agreement, then you only need one person to run the business.
Correct.
If you have two people running a business and they're always in agreement, they never disagree, it's overload. You only need one person. So just so you know, yes, Kevin is right. He and I, we have disagreement on certain topics. And I'll tell you that most of the time when I go back and I check, Kevin right. I'm right. I can think of, I won't mention it now, but I can think of one serious topic that, I won't name the other person, another fella, a person who get in a problem with that topic all the time. And Kevin makes sure that he's piloting my thoughts when it comes to that. He say, listen, I know you're going to do this, but no, we're not going that way. You have to go this way. And I'm right.
You say so out loud and the thing recorded, so now it's documented. So, but yes, and so as we move forward, please maintain that open mind. Have that person come with their criticisms. Have them make sure that they remain respectful, because they will get blocked. Joan Jackson, please come back tomorrow and update us with what little bit of information you get from your daughter, or what whole heap of information you get from your daughter, because that is important. And it's not tattling, it's not opposing what is being done per se. It is giving exposure, because if not everybody can attend such an event, but everybody can attend this one, but not everybody can attend that one. People are being asked to pay to enter the Zoom conference. The only thing that you're paying here is attention. That's about it. Everything else?
Big up cousin Diane. Yeah, people, I'm a cousin. And Diane, yesterday we were watching your answers on the exam, and you and I, we have to have a serious talk. Love you like life, cuz. We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, and so do go ahead and pay attention. OJLDF.net.org. Sorry, it was updated recently. But if you use the .net to take it to the .org, has a lot of information on there about the foundation and what the foundation is doing. Please visit. If you choose to make a donation at any given time, one, you send it. It's not a boomerang. It doesn't come back. So you donate, understand, you specify where you want your donation to be used. It will get used there. If you don't, the organization will use it as it sees fit, as there are projects that are ongoing, not just the 3 lawsuits. The tablet drive is an ongoing event. The assistance to Melissa victims is ongoing. All of these things are ongoing. But visit the website and see how you can participate in building a better Jamaica. Because ultimately, with the knowledge that you attain, from knowledge sprouts power. That's basically how it goes. If you don't know, you don't have the power to stand up. You don't have the power to speak out. You can only assume. And when you assume, you know what that does. So let's stand in a place from a place of knowledge. Let's reason from a place of knowledge and understanding. That way, at least individually in our households, we can build a better Jamaica. And that is how it starts. With individuals in households building better communities, and with communities extend to on a larger scale to towns, which extend on a larger scale to parishes, and so it grows. Let us grow. Provost.
And with that, people, want to thank you for joining us. You had choices. You could have been watching football game, sleeping, eating a dinner, watching another program. You have choices, but you made the choice to join us tonight. And I'm asking you to continue with your show of appreciation and your show of support by joining us tomorrow. Tonight is just a prelude. We're just a talk about the organization and all of that. But tomorrow we will delve into the real issues affecting Jamaicans at home and abroad. The Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, we needed to expose it for what it is and highlight it because of what we want it to be. But starting tomorrow, education. Tuesday, national security. Wednesday, health and economy. Thursday, tourism, beach access, land rights, and land ownership. The reason why we haven't given you the names of the presenters is because it's fluid. And as you can see tonight, Patrick Beckford was supposed to be here, but he's committed elsewhere, and he was trying to get away to come and give us a presentation, but unfortunately he wasn't able to. So that's why we don't want to give out the names ahead of time, and then the people aren't able to show up. But you know how it is. Kevin and I were well versed, so we can talk about any one of these subjects. And the thing about it is, we're doing it from a good place. And that's why we're quick studies. Because when you're doing stuff from a good place, you love what you're doing. You know what they say? Find a job you like, you love, and you'll never work another day in your life. And this, staying up, sleeping only 3 hours a night because I've spent a lot of time just looking over material, reading these things from it. Like, so if they send me a report and it's 160 pages, 80, 200 pages, it's nothing to me. And that's why you say I can talk to you about the Auditor General's report and the Integrity Commission's report or the Commission's report. And I can tell you beyond the headlines because people are only looking at the headlines. And you know what's funny? A noted journalist last week, we were talking about the which one was it? Yes, it was the Commission's report on FLA. And when I started pointing out things to the person, he said, I read the report and I didn't see all of those things. And he said, you're right. Those things are there, but he said, and now they're bouncing ideas off of me. They're saying, hey, but the problem with that is that once they start relying on me, then they stop reading. I don't want them to stop reading because I'm not perfect by no means. And I'm susceptible to making mistakes too. So I want them to read so that when I say something that's incorrect, they can correct me. And that's what we call synergy. That's what we call synergy. That's what we call collaboration and cooperation and working together. One hand washes the other, and they both wash the face. So I read, you read, and then we compare notes, and then we come to a conclusion. That's how it's supposed to be. But for me, reading these things, it's not a problem. I look forward to reading these things because I want to get into the meat of the matter and bring it to you, my people, so that when you see a newspaper headline saying, A, I can come to you and say, no, it's A+. Or it's not A, it's B, it's something completely different. And then what do I do? What do we do around here? We show you the evidence. We show you. We just don't talk about it. We put it up and we say, here it is. Right? Oh, you know what it was? The reporter was saying to me, he didn't know why Shane Darling, how did Shane Darling get the information before it was tabled so that FLA could go to court and file an action to prevent the report from being tabled. And I said to him, my brother, go back and look at the very end of the report. And what you'll see is this. And I said to him, I'll paraphrase for you. You'll see a section where they say, if we believe you did something wrong, but we're not going to prosecute you, we will share the results of the investigation with you, and we will invite you to come in and make a comment. Give us your take on it. And I said, and you know what you will see after that statement? The report is 60-something pages. And I said, and you know what you will see after that? You will see Shane Dalling's statement accounting for another 50-something pages. He wrote to them, and the size of his report is almost the size of their report. And I said, so they told him. So that's why it got out there. And he said, you know, I didn't even know this. I said, go back and read, man. It's there. It's there. So people, reading is fundamental, and joining us is a must, because we will do the reading. We also want you to do the reading. But again, we put it on the screen so that you can see, you can hear, and you can read for yourself. And we're looking forward to having you tomorrow. Tomorrow, education. Education. We're going to talk about the failing education system in Jamaica. And you know, corruption blends into that. So tune in tomorrow, same time, same place, same story. Jamaica popped down, and we need to do something about it. Big up on yourself. Let me out. I have the music around OT. Who have the music?
OT tonight. Yes.
OT with the music there. Big up yourself, my general, my 2-star. You love the show, all right. OT at sleep. Good job.
It's okay. We all have the music.
As though that's a sort of like she's sleeping on duty. She's sleeping on duty.
There it is.
Okay.
For the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights. I saw him stay. Say from him slip up all eyes on him. I defend the people themselves spice on him. Evil politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, them not ties on him. Them know say that the people rely on him. You know say them bring out them cries through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey. Rock you all the order of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm you. Well fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day.
The Global Jamaica Diaspora Coalition kicks off its second Biennial Diaspora Conference online Sunday, June 14th to Thursday, June 18th from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 6 to 9 p.m. Jamaica time. Join this impressive lineup of speakers as they discuss and provide solutions to crime, agriculture, health, economics, tourism, and beach rights access. All are invited, and it's totally free. No airline tickets, no hotels, no peddling. Just one diaspora, one voice. That's the second Biennial Diaspora Conference, June 14th to 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 6 p.m. Jamaica time. Join us on YouTube channel Reason with Rattigan. One diaspora, one voice, one Jamaica. Sponsored by our people, for the people.